Well, hello and a very warm welcome to episode 13 of A Load of Clark and Ball. Special edition, this one, bumper card, live on Racing Post Ground TV on Saturday night. It's the RPGTV Entain Group Track Championship. I'm the Clark, Dave Clark. He's the Ball, Tony Bullen. And what a night of racing ahead of us on Saturday night, Tony.
Yeah, it certainly is, Dave. I've got fond memories of these type of events. I mean, back in the day when I was a Walthamstow correspondent, 1997, 1998, Sheffield come down and spanked Walthamstow with some brilliant performances. One memorable performance was Plasticine Gem when they won it in 1998, and this is another good concept indeed.
Yeah, well, just to sort of give you the format, the four Entain tracks are, of course, Romford, Hove, Monmore, and Crayford. There are 12 races. Each track has 18 representatives, so they will be doubled up in some races, and it's a point scoring system across the 12 races. And you get 7 points for finishing first, 5 points for finishing second, 4 for third, 3 for fourth, 2 for fifth, and 1 for finishing last. And after the 12 races, whichever track has the most number of points wins. There's a £5,000 prize from RPGTV for the winning track to spend on their retirement kennels. A retirement kennels attached to the track, and every race is worth £750 as well. The betting, Romford and Hove are very much to the forefront. They're sort of 6-4, 13-8. If you shop around, you can get about both of those. Monmore 10-1, Crayford 14s, the outsiders. We'll give our selections at the end, Tony, but it does feel like a bit of a match between Romford and the home team, Hove, because of course we are down on the seaside on Saturday night.
Yeah, and it's good to see the bookmakers being bookmakers. In fairness, Dave, there's a difference of opinion. Some have got Hove as favourites, and others have got Romford as favourites. I think you can get evens 4-5 Hove with some, and they're 13-8, 11-8 with a few others. So, yeah, if there is a little bit of value if you fancy one of the front two in the market.
Yeah, well, a shout out to William Hill, actually, who will sort of stand out the most in that they clearly really fancy the home side, Hove, because they are bottom price. They are ducking Hove. Hove are clear favourites with Hill. So perhaps if you want to back Romford, Monmore or Crayford, go to William Hill. But do shop around. There's plenty of prices around. Right, let's get stuck into it then, because there are 12 brilliant races. And the first one is the 609. Bubbly Bollinger in 1, Racket or Gus in 2, Smurfs Machine in 3, Corin Alfie in 4, Woodcock's Hawk in 5, Jaguar Fury in 6. Now we've got a Derby finalist in Trap 3, Smurfs Machine, Tony. And will this be a winning start for the home team?
Well, I mean, the locals will be hoping so. One concern is, Dave, he's yet to win on home soil. Admittedly, he's only had 4 starts at Hove, but for a class act that Smurfs Machine is, it is a little bit of a concern. But I do feel that he can get busy early in this particular contest. It's the 5:15 metre distance,
Yep.
remember. But Bubbly Bollinger gave Smurfs Machine a real scare when they met at Toaster. And I mean, the Bubbly Bollinger dog obviously chased home 10 pin in the Romford Puppy Cup last year. They entered him for the Derby, Dave, but I think he was a little bit immature and not quite ready to take on the big boys at that stage of his career. But he's matured over the 5.75 metre distance at Romford this term, and it'll be race on if Smurfs Machine leads and Bubbly Bollinger turns a clear second, because I do expect these two to dominate this opener.
Yeah, I think it'll be a winning start for the home side. Even money, Smurfs Machine, lay or play?
Be playing even money all day long. I think it'll be a little bit shorter than that.
Okay, right. So it could be a winning start to the home team there, which of course pick up 7 points. And it's all about, I feel like it's all going to be about dogs that not necessarily win, Tony, this, but they'll pick up the 5 points and the 4 points and the 3 points in the places. That could be what decides it.
Yeah, I agree, David. I mean, looking at the Romford's team, there's not got first or last material, if you get what I mean. They've got dogs that are probably going to be, even if they run below par, they'll probably be finishing third or fourth. So it's a better team to have. Whereas if you put all your eggs in one basket with those dogs that either win or nearer last and first, it is more difficult.
Yeah, right. Let's move on then. 6:28, race 2. It's a sprint, 285 metres. Tommy's Pluto. For Claude Gardner, the home team. Hove in trap 1. Final Moon for Monmore. Kim Billingham in 2. Westmeath Pearl is in 3 for Jason Heath, the home team again. Antoinella for Dave Lee and Crayford in 4. Droopy's Flight for Nathan Hunt in trap 5 and Romford. And Romford also represented in trap 6 here with Bubbly Spark. I'll kick off. I'm a big fan of Antoinella. I thought she was a little bit unlucky at Romford last time in something absolutely frightening sectionals at Crayford. I think she actually holds the record there now with her 3:36. And if she can find a smash again, I think she can do the business. But I do know that you fancy something else in the race, Tony.
Yeah, I like Tommy's Pluto, Dave. He's not really switched on in October. He reeled off a hat trick over course and distance, and then reeled off another hat trick from January to February. One thing this dog loves, it's the red vest, Dave, and he overcome a tricky draw, beat a good field last time out, and I do feel that the 2 sprints on the card, are probably the most competitive races of the night, and could be the deciding factor in this actual event. But I do like Tommy's Pluto. I just think he's got his draw, and that performance last week suggests that he could take the beating. I must just say that Westmeath Pearl will be representing Crayford in this. I think Hove, when the card that actually comes through, it will have Crayford, because it is a bit confusing at the moment where there's dual attached trainers. But Westmeath Pearl will be representing Crayford here.
Yeah, I've just brought in the replay of Tommy's Pluto last week. He was out of 4. He had to be brave at the corner. He was gutsy. He was game all the way up to the line. You can see in the replay wants the inside, and I'll run it again. He's got the inside, and he's a strong selection for you, is he, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, 3-1 plus, I'd be all over him, Dave, and I think that is freely available. I mean, Bubbly Spark, he ran well, reached the Golden Sprint final. Droopy's Flight, I know you've always been a fan of this dog. He's put up some decent trials. He prepped well in the Northamptonshire Sprint at Toaster, but didn't quite put it into practice in races. And he's done a 16:23. If he can put that into practice, it'd be a massive runner.
Yeah, it's an intriguing one. It's a wide open one as well. There won't be anything short in here, but I'm with Antonella. We'll be looking for a very, very fast start out of her. Right, we'll keep with her because we've got Bitches up next in the 6:43. Now, one of my strongest selections lines up in this race, but I'll let you kick off proceedings, Tony.
It's an interesting race. When the prices come out, I think there was double digits available for Jack's Happy Moments. I thought was massive. I mean, I know her trial for the 5:15 wasn't anything out of the ordinary, but she's proven over 4, 6, and 8 bends at Romford, and
Point scorer. That's what we're thinking.
she
Point
is a
scorer.
point scorer indeed. But Woodcock Zakia caused an upset when winning the Peter Bussey Memorial. But I did think that this was an excellent opportunity for Droopy's Coffee to get off the front. She's been a little bit hit and miss of late, made an early exit from the Oaks, but she's a real handful when turning in the front rank. And I think that recent trial over course and distance will give her a real confidence boost, having been well beaten at Central Park. So Droopy's Coffee to hopefully get off the front.
Well, we are in agreement then because I'm very strong on Droopy's Coffee. I actually want to focus on the outside dogs here. She's an Oaks finalist. Droopy's Coffee with good early speed, and 6 Woodcocks Akia won the Peter Bussey Memorial Trophy at Crayford over the 540 metres. Now the key to this race is going to be Ballymac Kiora in trap 4 here for Kim Billingham. I did see Ballymac Kiora run out of trap 5 at Nottingham a while back and just dived inside. Now expect her to do exactly the same out of 4. There could be all sorts of trouble here. I'm not sure the inside duo are going to be able to live with the early birds here anyway. And she's got really, really good early speed, Droopy's Coffee. So I think she can just trap 4 dive inside. She can fly to the bench. She'll be away and gone. And Woodcock Saki, who's got good form over, albeit sharp 6 bends at Crayford, might be the full cast link as well. But Orange Jacket for me, one for Jim Daly and Team Crayford there. I fancy. Right, we'll move on then because we are now over the extended 6-bend trip at Hove, the 740 metres. 3 M's in 1 for Romford and Paul Young. Pearstown Dove in 2 for Derek Knight, the home team Hove. Antigua Billy, another one for Hove and Belinda Green. Droopy's Alpha, Stuart Butland and Monmore in 4. Millbank Marcella in 5 for Jim Daly and Crayford, and DTD Slider for Kim Billingham and Monmore in 6. How do you see it, Tony?
It was a no play race for me. I mean, I put 3 M's in around even money because it's even she turns up, or even she puts in a bad one. So she took a while to open her account, and I think it was over the 945 metre distance at Hove where she did finally get her act together. She then went on to reach a Cesarovic final at Romford, but she certainly got patchy form to her name. But on her day, she'd take the world of beating if everything clicks. But it's a big if, and I think those that play, that's why I put her in at evens. Even she turns up, even she doesn't. DTD Slider is always one of those dogs that keeps catching the eye. He's a little bit of a rocking horse style dog, I call him. Takes a while to build up a head of steam, but you always fall in love with him, think, next time, and he just continues to run the same race. Millbank Marcella contested the Kent St Ledger final last year. Might be one for value, but it just depends what 3M's turns up, Dave.
Yeah, I do feel that the 740 is probably just about the right trip for DTD Slider, because you see him running at Monmore staying well over the 630, but you get the impression that he doesn't want to go too much further. So that the 740 I think would be perfect for him. I've got to be with one here. Not only sort of if her best version of herself turns up here, I think she wins. The draw's brilliant because I watched Pearcestown Dove last time in behind Mash Mad Bullet and was off at the bends. Now, Derek Knight's charge is very lightly raced and will still be learning what it's all about down at Hove. But 3M's will have the inside all to herself here, and I couldn't really be against her. I know she's inconsistent, but I think one for the Champagne Club there and Team Romford on the inside. Let's move on then, because I think this is going to be another one for Team Romford. In the 718, Trap 1, Sharp Darcy for Seamus Carhill Hove. Pyman's Noel's in 2 for Dave Munnins Romford. Skywalker Cliff in 3 for Gemma Davidson Hove. Drum Do It Kel for Lee Field, friend of the show. Monmore in 4. Balliard Ricky for Nathan Hunt in 5. And Chasing Turkey for Dave Lee in Trap 6. What do you fancy, Tony?
I think it's a match, Dave. It's a gunfight at the OK Corral, should we say? Sharp Darcy, Balliard Ricky. I mean, Balliard Ricky made a winning debut at Central Park last year. Won a Derby trial stake. Was eliminated behind Southwood Jet in the first round of the Derby. No mileage on the clock, but he'll come on a bundle for that race at Monmore and move well in the trial. But I really like the Sharp Darcy dog here. I think there's nothing capable of holding him up on the inside. You've got Pyman's Noel, who's more renowned for her exploits over longer distances. And the Sharp Darcy, he has got a ping start in him, and he's also capable of coming from just off the pace. So I do think that Sharp Darcy can secure maximum points here for Seamus Carhill, the Produce Semi and the Kent Derby semi-finalist, Dave.
Yeah, I do. I think it's very difficult to see Sharp Darcy not being in the shake-up off the last bend. But I'm thinking Balliard Ricky might just get off the front here and keep on pulling for Nathan Hunt and the Nathan Hunt Racing Club. 29.78 at Nottingham last year. I think that was in a Derby trial stake and should have plenty of racing room ahead of him on the run to the corner. Everything looking for the inside there. So I'm with 5, but Tony is with the inside runner. Right, we are back over 6 bends. This time it's the 695 at Hove. And we mentioned, Tony, that it could be all about point scorers here. Well, we're going to have a look at one. Nathan Hunt's Florican Trend, who you felt ran quite well last time.
Yeah, she certainly did, Dave. It was a good... I mean, obviously, Craig Bryan Storm, I think, was a massive price when winning on this night, and the time wasn't great. The 30,
yeah, she's in trap 2 actually on the replay, but yeah, go on. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy race, but you've got to take into account this was her first competitive start away from Romford, and one thing she does do is stay really well. Florican Trend, she moved well in the trial. Admittedly, she would have preferred a draw nearer the rails, but I think she's going to secure points for Romford here. I'm not sure they'll be maximum points because I just thought that Droopy Zelina, although not necessarily wanting an inside line, it might prove helpful rather than a hindrance for Jason Heath-Spitch, who will pick up the pace from the third bend, and I just thought might get there in a race that could be scrappy again, Dave.
Yeah, well, differing opinions again here because I like Summer Savvy out wide in trap six. It was actually a St Ledger finalist in 2019, if you go back far enough. I don't like to go back too far, but has been running well, stayed on really well in A4 at Monmore last time. But prior to that, in an S1, I thought ran really well. And I thought it was a good draw because from what we saw from that replay, as well as Florican Trend ran, she's desperate for the inside. So both 5 and 6 will get a nice run around early on here because it's not the longest run to the corner over the 695. So the start will be quite crucial. And I think, what sort of price do we think 6 will be, Tony?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have him in too big because he has got a great makeup. He's probably going to be set for a solo. And as you say, he's back form. He was competing in decent company. And the fact that Paul Salas has got him running really well over the 4 bends and 6 bends at Monmore, he has got a plot draw. And if he's around bigger than 5-1, he's got to be a major runner, Dave.
Yeah, he'll do for me at that sort of price. Right, belter of a race. Next one, it's actually Division One over the 515. Trap one, surprising for Seamus Carhill Hove. Trap two, Droopy's Edition for Gemma Evans. Romford, Daddy's Prince, Stuart Buckland, Monmore in 3. Sporting Katina in 4 for Maxine Lock Romford. Magical Ezra for Kevin Hutton. In trap 5 for Monmore, and 6 is Dower Dove for Tommy Batchelor Crayford. What a race this one is, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, Sporting Katina, she's really set the pulse racing at Romford, and she done it well on her first visit at Hove. But this is her toughest assignment to date by far. But again, I think she'll pick up valuable points by finishing probably in the first 3, Dave. But I'm going to just favour surprising here. I mean, obviously, he won A3, A2 when first arriving on the scene. Then Seamus knew he had a star on his hands when he won the Puppy Derby at Toaster. Unfortunately, he suffered quite a serious setback following that win, and he blew the cobwebs away in the RPGTV Juvenile at Toaster, and he's since been beaten again. But I think them 2 runs will put him spot on now, and I like the draw. I think he's set for a solo trial here. I know it's a 6-dog race on paper, but surprising, he's set for a solo trial on the rails, and if he can do that 29.05, which he done in the 5th of April, Dave, it's going to take a good one. As good as Droopy's Edition is, won the Trafalgar Cup last year. I just think if one gets first run, it'll take a good one to peg him back.
Well, you mentioned Droopy's Edition. He was a brilliant winner in a prep run last week over the over course and distance, the 515. He's in the white jacket here. He was 5 on, but he's put up a 29.81, and he's all class. You know, we reel off his CV. Tony, runner up in the Essex Vars, finalist in the Gold Cup, the Ladbrokes Gold Cup at Monmore, and then in 2019 Trafalgar Cup winner as well. So he is all class, he's versatile, and you wouldn't want to be giving him a start.
No, without a doubt. I mean, Shoot the Bolt ran a blinder in fairness because Droopy's Edition done everything right, and the 515 metre distance, I would have been stronger on surprising had this been over 500, Dave, but being over the 515, it's going to be a fascinating race. But just keep an eye on Sporting Katina because she's really going the right way.
Yeah, I think she's got a fair draw here, but I'm not sure she's got the speed to use it early on. I've got concerns about the draw for Droopy's Edition. As good as he was last week, as classy as he is, Daddy's Prince is going one way out of boxes, and that's inside. And if 3 starts, 2's going to be set for a rough ride and might just prove the buffer to enable Surprising to get a nice seam up the inside and show his class. So, yeah, I think Seamus will be winning that one on the inside. Very, very, very good draw for Surprising there. Let's move on then, because this is... I'm a big fan of sprints, and I feel like this is the race of the night because I think we've seen potentially a very, very special dog in trap 4 here. Headford Buzz for Kevin Hutton, but I'll give you the runners and the teams. Blast Off Mason for Seamus Carhill Hove in 1, Mr. Roo for Leafield Monmore 2, Ballinaby Lucky Sam West Hove in 3, Headford Buzz Kevin Hutton Monmore 4, Shrewd Call Sprinter of the Year, of course, last year, Dave Mullins Romford 5, and Ballymac Miko Jim Reynolds Crayford 6. Now, I've shown my hand already that I'm with Headford Buzz. What about yourself, Tony?
I mean, first off, Dave, what a race! I think you could run this week. You could run this 6 or 7 times, and you would get a different result. They're all capable of beating one another when bringing their A game. I mean, Red hit the ground running, won 3 from 4 over 480 metres at Monmore. Enjoyed mixed fortunes in sprints. Mr. Roo, second in the Northamptonshire sprint behind Bocco's John Joe. Ballina Be Lucky ran behind True Call in a sprint event over course and distance last year. Kent Derby finalist, Golden Sprint finalist. Headford Buzz, he's going to be my selection. He ran behind Jaguar Macy on debut over 480 at Monmore, but since Kevin's dropped him down in distance, I mean, he's just shown the right attitude. This dog, he becomes a man in a few days' time. Actually, turns 2 on the day of the race day. So I think the boy will become a man by claiming some decent sculpts. True Call, sprinter of the year last year, and Ballymac Miko, he was runner up in the Irish Sprint Cup at Dundalk. It's just no margin for errors, but I love the trial. I think the Headford Buzz dog, I mean, to do 16:28 first look at Hove just underlines the potential this dog has.
Yeah, we can bring in a replay actually of his win last time we saw him in a race. Good trial
Yeah.
since then, but he was a winner over the 264 from trap 3 here at Monmore. You can just tell the way this dog runs the bends, Tony. He does glide around them, but he's still sort of learning what this game's all about. But there's certainly pace and an engine in there, isn't there?
Without doubt. And I love the sprint. I think the Hove sprint is one of probably the best sprints that we've got, Dave. It's a nice run to the corner. It takes some getting. The contours of the bends are nice. You don't see dogs like Central Park sprint sometimes. If you hit it on the wrong leg, where it's a little bit flat at that point, you get dogs drifting off. But Hove's a fair sprint, a good test of a true sprinter. And this is going to be some race.
Yeah, when I watched that race back at Monmore, I thought the camber at Hove is just going to keep this dog in, and you know he's going to go well. So yeah, he's a real strong selection for me. As strong a selection as it can be because it's such a brilliant race, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I see 9-2 early. I thought that was huge. I mean, I had it as an 11-4 the field race. You won't be seeing anything under 2-1 in this race. I'll be amazed if there is because it's just so competitive.
Yeah, look forward to that one. Fast and Furious action. On to the 8:38 then. We are bitches over the 500 metres, Division 1. Panton Whispering 1 for Dave Mullins, Romford. Trap 2, Lights Out, Oaks finalist. Oaks third, in fact. Kevin Hutton, Monmore in 2. Nissels Thunder, Tommy Batchelor, Crayford in 3. Lunar Rocket, Leafield, Monmore in 4. Burko's Dream, Sam West Hove in 5. And New In Liz for Gemma Evans and Team Romford in 6. Now, I think we all know that Lights Out's going to be a point scorer for Romford, Tony. She's a very chasey bitch. She's a strong runner over this trip. But will she be picking up maximum points?
I mean, I like her. I know she's quirky. I mean, she showed that in reaching the produce final, but she ran a stormer win third in the Oaks and recently bagged the bitches competition at Perry Bar. Her season date's cherry ripe now, so she should be flourishing. And I know she lacks a recent look round, but I just think she's one of those bitches, Dave, that will probably turn her on an alien venue. It'll give her something a little bit more to hunt. And wherever she turns, you're going to be looking over your shoulder. But I know you're a fan of Pantone Whisper. I think you put Pantone Whisper up on this particular one of our earlier episodes of Low Park and Ball at Romford, but we won't swell your head too much. But New In Liz was also an Oaks finalist, but completely fluffed her lines in the final. I think she can come away a lot better than she did last weekend when beaten by Lunar Rocket, and if doing so, will hold all the aces.
Yeah, she went unbeaten, didn't she, in the Oaks? She wasn't favourite in the final, but yeah, she went unbeaten all the way to the final. And I'm with you. I think she's going to run a big race. It's just not a play race for me. It really isn't, because if Lights Out turns second, you just can't be confident of anything that's going to happen.
No.
So yeah, perhaps frame up Lights Out, the filter beater, maybe Lunar Rocket off the front, but I'm not strong on anything there. But it's a good race to see how it pans out, shall we say? There's some classy ladies in action. Right, race 10 is the 854, and we are back over 6 bends. Track 1, DTD Merlin, Kimberling and Monmore, Bubbly Crystal, Team Romford and Paul Young in 2, Blue Tick George, Jim Daly, Team Crayford in 3, Slippy Mick, Michelle Brown in trap 4 for Romford. There is a change here. Mason Tiger Mac comes in for Marcus Smith. And Team Crayford Rising Coco, Jim Reynolds is out. And Mash Mad Bullet for Claude Gardner, Team Hove in 6. This race has to revolve around the class act in 3 here, Tony. Blue Tick George broke the track record at Sunderland, got beat in the final, was runner-up there. He's been to Hove before. He's a class act, and I just thought he'd go from the front here and make all.
Yeah, I thought he ran a blinder in the Grand Prix final. I mean, Koulibaly Bani got first run on him, but he stuck to the task. Connection did try him over 8 bends, and that was never his distance. In fairness, it didn't take its toll on him because they dropped him back, and he's flourishing back over the 6 bend. This is a stiff 6 bends, obviously 695, takes some getting, and I just thought that he could get off the front here. As much as I like this Mad Mash Bullet dog, I backed him at Romford and he absolutely took off, but he's not been the most consistent at the start. But I think this dog will flourish over even further, Dave, and it could be race on if 3 goes bingo and 6 turns second, because I do think 6 is one of those dogs that's got gears and can quicken up at any stage of a race. Bubbly Cristal you can't ignore, won a novice stayers at Central Park last year and battled really well in heat and final with the Tony Byerly Mercury over 750 at Romford, beat 3Ms in a prep trial, so heads into this particular contest in good shape. But
yeah, I'm strong on 3 off the front. I think 3 can go off front, but you're putting up 6 as a big danger, yeah?
Yeah, I like 6. I mean, he was unbeaten in a school fee, this dog as well, and I think there's a big future in 6. I really think there's a marathon in 6 on what I've seen him go to the pickup at Romford.
Okay, right. So we'll enjoy that one as well. Be short price as well, no doubt. Blue Tick Jules. Right, Sioma Razzle on the inside here in the next race, the 9-12 for the home team. Jason Heath, another good draw for Hove on the inside. Magical Otis, Kim Billingham, Monmore 2. New in Jacko, Gemma Evans, Romford 3. Shelby's Memory, Aaron Dunn, Monmore 4. Ballinaby Jets, Sam West, Hove 5. And Kalikal Alfie, Gemma Davidson in trap 6 for Team Hove or Crayford?
Edging towards Hove here on the draw. I mean, Nguyen Jacko won the Monmore Puppy Derby last year and the Olympic at Hove. And
Gemma Davidson will be for Crayford, yeah, because Hove are doubly represented yet.
Yeah, I mean, Nguyen Jacko, he's just tardy at the boxes, but when everything clicks, he's a formidable opponent. But I think Sioma Razzle, Dave, cuts loose, gets first run on the inside, and any crowding in behind, I think he might be away and gone. You could forgive the dog for leading and getting beat by Lights Out. Lights Out can catch anything.
Yep.
She can catch pigeons when she wants. And I thought the Highlight Arkle dog ran a tremendous race. I mean, anything that's beating Sioma Razzle to the punch quite comfortably must be shifting. But I think the draw back in red, Sioma Razzle cuts loose and opens up a winning lead.
Yeah, I'm the same. Really, really good draw as well because I think Magical Otis wants sort of lane 3 on the run to the corner and at the bend as well. Bang middle at the corner, so lots of racing room for Sioma Razzle there to get off the front. And then the lucky last, we're back over 6 bends, 740 metres, and I'm going to give a chance here to Bubbly Angel, Tony. I thought this was a really, really tricky race, but as she's kept good company. I mean, you look at the field she beat last time up at Toaster. Savannah Volcano was in there and all the top marathon performers. And I just want to take a chance so we can get a start out of her and go well here. But it's a great little race, this one, isn't it, to bring the curtain down on the track championship?
It's very interesting because Hove will be hoping they've got an advantage because Romford are doubly represented in this finale and they've got some good claims of getting some decent points. But I do think that Slippy Eva can secure the win in the finale and grab the 7 points. And it might be redundant what the Romford runners do if she does. I mean, if she performs like she did last time out, she just had a combination of early pace and staying power. Seamus Carhill's bitch. Lemon Flyer. I mean, Steve Katz must have been absolutely delighted with his fella stepping up to 750. Absolute ran riot. I mean, admittedly, it wasn't a vintage marathon, but you can only beat what's put in front of you, Dave. And boy, did he do it.
Pulverised them.
Done it in some style. Southfield Code is a model of consistency. Regency finalist, so he runs the track. But I do think Slippy Eva, game as a pebble, 25.5 kilos of proper engine she's got.
Yeah, I know the racing manager at Hove, Danny Rankin, rates Slippy Eva as a top stayer in the making. Very, very lightly raced for Seamus Carhill. And we'll be flying the flag for the home team there. But I like Bubbly Angel, another one for Team Romford. Now, I don't know if you've counted up all your winners, your points and all that. I ended up with 3 wins for each track. But Romford coming out on top, perhaps in the point scoring. How do you see it, Tony?
I've done some sort of calculation. I don't know whether I've worked it out right. I think I worked out there's 12, 16, 19, 22 points per race up for grabs, and I've done the maths. I've got Hove coming out with about 85, Romford on 80, Monmore 57, and Crayford 42. So that's how I've worked it out. But I can see where your colours lie. Local lad Dave with the Romford, but I look at it. I'm not too far from Romford myself. Rias and Harlow just round the corner. But when it comes to punting, I want to win money. Sentimental goes out the window. And I think Hove, on their own turf, will take the beating.
Yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to it. We should always, of course, try and be impartial, but I'm very much Team Rommers. As I say, I think there are point scorers along the way. The likes of Sporting, Katina, the Jacks, Happy Moment stayer as well. I just feel it's going to be very, very tight between Romford and Hove. But, you pick up them second, thirds, and maybe even, a fourth and fifth place rather than finishing stone last could prove the difference.
And when you've got trainers coming down from Monmore, Lee Field, Kevin Hutton, Kim Billingham, they know the time of day, Dave.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm really looking forward to it. So it is good. Enjoy it. You'll be able to watch that live on Racing Post Ground TV from 6 p.m. On Saturday night. Sky Channel 437, Freesat 250. This has been episode 13 of A Load of Clark and Ball. I'm the Clark. He's the Ball. Thanks for watching.